In the sunlit coastal city of San Diego, California, in the year 1975, Ryan Smith entered the world, his spirit already a tapestry of curiosity and a yearning for adventure. As a child, he was captivated by the world beyond his immediate horizon, enthralled by the myriad cultures that dotted the globe. This fascination with the kaleidoscope of human customs, languages, and traditions grew into a calling he could not ignore. At the age of 27, compelled by an inner urge to witness the world firsthand, Ryan embarked on a journey that would forever change the course of his life. His compass pointed toward the vast and enigmatic lands of Eurasia, focusing particularly on the territories that once lay under the Soviet Union's shadow. In the year 2002, his aspirations took form as he ventured to Azerbaijan, a land cradled between the Caspian Sea's azure embrace and the majestic peaks of the Caucasus Mountains. Here, at the confluence of Eastern European and Western Asian influences, Ryan found the perfect stage to commence his odyssey of exploration. Settling in Baku, the vibrant capital of Azerbaijan, he immersed himself in the local culture, learning the language and the rhythms of daily life. The ancient city's walls whispered tales of the past, and within these storied confines, Ryan found himself drawn to the bustling carpet market. Here, amid the vibrant hues and intricate patterns, he discovered a craft as old as the city itself: carpet weaving. This ancient art, passed down through generations, was a testament to the region's rich heritage, yet it faced the threat of fading into obscurity. Ryan, captivated by the artistry and meticulous craftsmanship of the handmade carpets, began to dream of a venture that would celebrate and preserve this cultural treasure. In December of 2005, with a vision and a plan, Ryan returned to the United States, determined to lay the groundwork for his new enterprise. During this pivotal time, he met Laura Joy, a spirited young teacher whose charm and intellect matched his own. Their bond was immediate and profound, culminating in an engagement and marriage. Laura's support for Ryan's passion for travel and cultural exploration was unwavering. In 2011, the couple journeyed to Georgia, a neighboring country to Azerbaijan, steeped in its own rich tapestry of history and tradition. They settled in the city of Marnoli, where they set about realizing their dream of a business dedicated to the production of traditional handmade carpets. Their vision was to weave together American entrepreneurial spirit with the time-honored craftsmanship of Azerbaijan. The couple welcomed their son, Caleb, into the world in 2014 as their business aspirations began to take shape. Ryan and Laura's project promised to bring the beauty of these intricate carpets to an international audience, with each piece potentially commanding prices over $1,000. While Laura dedicated her days to teaching English at a local school, Ryan embarked on journeys through the villages, seeking out artisans skilled in the traditional weaving techniques. Yet, this endeavor was not without its challenges. The ancient art of weaving was in decline, with few artisans remaining who could execute the techniques with the precision and artistry required. Many who initially joined Ryan's project withdrew, citing disagreements over pricing and other concerns. Despite these setbacks, Ryan's determination remained unshaken. In this quest to preserve a dying craft, Ryan Smith's journey is not merely one of business and cultural exchange, but a testament to the enduring human spirit's quest for understanding and connection across the diverse tapestry of our shared world. 30 years of age, Malchus carried with him the wisdom of generations, having traversed these paths since he was a boy. His knowledge of the land was unparalleled, his keen eyes able to interpret the landscape with the ease of reading a well-loved book. The Smiths felt reassured in his presence, confident that the shepherd would lead them safely through their mountainous adventure. The morning of their departure was filled with the laughter of Caleb as he bounded about the small, sunlit yard of their home. Ryan and Laura packed their bags with the essentials: water, snacks, a first aid kit, and a camera to capture the beauty they were about to encounter. They set off with Malchus at the helm, his shepherd's staff a comforting silhouette against the morning sky. As the day unfolded, the family marveled at the vistas that stretched before them. The peaks rose majestically, their snow-capped tips piercing the azure sky, while waterfalls cascaded down in shimmering sheets, aeant of pine and the distant music of birdsong. Caleb, enthralled by the wonders around him, peppered Malchus with questions, to which the shepherd responded with stories of ancient legends and tales of the land. Yet, as they ventured deeper into the wilderness, the weather began to shift. The once clear skies grew dark with ominous clouds, and a chill crept into the air. Malchus suggested they find shelter until the storm passed, leading them to a small cave he knew of, hidden among the rocks. Inside, they found refuge from the elements, huddling together as the storm raged outside, lightning slicing through the sky and thunder rolling Despite the fierce weather, the Smiths remained in good spirits, their trust in Malchus unwavering. They shared stories and laughter, their voices echoing softly against the stone walls of their temporary haven. As the storm began to abate, the family emerged, eager to continue their journey. The rain had washed the landscape anew, the colors more vibrant, the air fresh and clean. But as they made their way back, a sense of unease settled over them. The path, now slippery and treacherous, demanded their full attention. Malchus led them with caution, his steps measured and deliberate. Yet fate can be a fickle companion, and as they navigated a particularly narrow ledge, tragedy struck with devastating swiftness. In a heartbeat, the world changed. The ground beneath Laura gave way, sending her tumbling down the steep incline. Ryan's desperate cry echoed through the gorge as he lunged to catch her, his fingers brushing against hers before she disappeared from view. Malchus, with the instincts of a shepherd protecting his flock, rushed to Ryan's aid, but the mountains had already claimed their toll. And that would never fully heal, a reminder of the fragility of life and the capriciousness of nature. Yet, in their sorrow, the Smiths found solace in the love and support of those they had embraced as their own. Ryan, now more than ever, dedicated himself to the legacy they had begun together, determined to honor Laura's memory by continuing their work in the community. The kindergarten and playground they had dreamed of soon became a reality, a place where the laughter of children could echo once more, a testament to the enduring spirit of hope and the unyielding power of love. In the end, the story of Ryan and Laura Smith is not merely a tale of loss and tragedy, but of resilience and the profound impact of human connection. It speaks to the enduring strength found in the bonds we forge and the legacies we leave behind, a reminder that even in the face of the greatest sorrow, there is always room for hope to blossom anew. In the shadow of towering peaks, amidst the rugged landscape of an ancient mountain range, a chilling tale of trust betrayed and innocence lost unfolds. At the heart of this tragic narrative is Malchus, a 19-year-old shepherd whose familiarity with the mountains was rivaled only by his reputation for calmness and reliability. The locals spoke of him as a good-natured youth, his demeanor seemingly as gentle as the sheep and goats he tended. It was this reputation that led the Smith family to place their trust in Malchus, hiring him as their guide through the majestic yet unforgiving terrain. The Smiths, a family seeking adventure and solace in nature's embrace, embarked on their journey with Malchus, unaware of the dark intentions that lay hidden beneath his composed exterior. Their journey, meant to be a peaceful retreat into the wilderness, soon spiraled into a nightmare. As they ascended the mountains, the family set up camp at a serene clearing near a natural spring, a place where the cool waters offered respite from the summer sun. Yet, beneath the tranquil surface, unease began to stir. Ryan Smith, ever perceptive, noticed an unsettling carelessness in Malchus's handling of the gun he carried, a tool meant for protection, now a harbinger of doom. His concerns, initially voiced with caution, soon erupted into a confrontation, a clash of words that quickly descended into violence. In a moment of unimaginable horror, Malchus turned his weapon on Ryan, the sharp crack of gunfire shattering the mountain's silence. Ryan fell, lifeless, leaving behind the echoes of his wife Laura's screams and the heart-wrenching cries of their infant son, Caleb. In the aftermath of this brutal act, Malchus's intentions became horrifyingly clear. Ignoring Laura's desperate pleas, he turned the gun on the innocent child, extinguishing a life that had barely begun. Paralyzed by shock, Laura stood frozen, her mind grappling with the incomprehensible reality before her. Yet in the depths of her despair, survival instinct surged through her veins. She fled, driven by an urgent need to escape the fate that had claimed her family. Her flight led her to the precipice of a steep waterfall, a natural barrier that offered no sanctuary. With nowhere left to run, Laura faced her pursuer, Malchus, whose eyes were devoid of empathy, a reflection of the darkness that consumed him. At gunpoint, he forced Laura to the edge and, in a final act of cruelty, pushed her into the abyss. Her body, broken and lifeless, was discovered near the riverbank below, a silent testament to the violence that had unfolded. His hands was invisible to all but him. Meanwhile, the absence of the Smith family grew increasingly conspicuous. Sabina, a close friend of Laura, became alarmed when days passed without communication. Her attempts to reach Ryan and Laura were met with silence, a void that deepened the growing concern among their friends and colleagues. As the sun rose on Friday, July 6th, the village was abuzz with whispers, the mystery of the missing family casting a long shadow. It was a day that would mark the beginning of an investigation, a search for answers in the wilderness that had swallowed the Smiths whole. The truth, as it emerged, painted a portrait of betrayal and brutality, a reminder that even in the most serene landscapes, darkness can lurk, waiting to shatter the illusions of safety and trust. In the end, the tragedy of the Smith family serves as a somber reflection on the fragility of life and the unforeseen paths that trust can lead us down. In the heart of the Georgian mountains, a mystery unfurled, shrouded in the poignant silence of nature's serene beauty. The Center for Rapid Response and Emergency Situations, a beacon of hope in times of crisis, received a chilling report. An American family, the Smiths, had ventured into the mountains, accompanied by their 4-year-old son, and had not been heard from in over 48 hours. The report came from Sabina, a concerned acquaintance, who feared the worst. A 15-member rescue team was promptly dispatched to the rugged terrain where the family was last believed to be. As the team reached the designated gorge, a harrowing scene awaited them. Laura Smith's vehicle was discovered, parked in quiet solitude, surrounded by personal belongings that seemed scattered in haste or desperation. The searchers, their hearts heavy. The tranquility of the forest was shattered by a grim discovery. At the base of a majestic waterfall lay a lifeless form, a stark contrast to the vibrant life that had once animated it. Shock and sorrow gripped the rescuers as they expanded their search, driven by a grim determination. 800 meters from the waterfall, another body was found, its identity obscured by the rapid advance of decomposition in the sweltering summer heat. Initial assessments revealed no overt signs of violence, yet the mystery deepened. An official investigation was swiftly launched, adhering to the protocols of the Georgian Criminal Code. Yet, the whereabouts of the couple's young son, Caleb, remained elusive. Days passed with the weight of unanswered questions hanging heavily. It was during this time that investigators unearthed a pivotal lead. The last known companion of the Smith family was a 19-year-old shepherd named Malchus Carberry. His detainment for questioning marked a turning point in the investigation. Under the scrutiny of interrogation, Malchus divulged a chilling secret. He claimed to know the location of young Caleb. 4 days after the Smiths' ill-fated journey began, Malchus guided investigators to a secluded site. There, amid the silent witnesses of the natural world, lay the small body of Caleb, buried alongside the instrument of his demise. The revelation struck with the finality of a death knell. The Georgian police, with resolute solemnity, announced the arrest of Malchus Carberry, charging him with the heinous murder of the Smith family. The news reverberated through the nation, casting a shadow over the tight-knit community of Manoli and the local network of artisans who had cherished the Smiths as their own. The tragedy drew the attention of the American consulate, prompting the involvement of the FBI, who joined forces with Georgian authorities to meticulously sift through the evidence. On the 11th of July, the Tbilisi Municipal Court decreed that Malchus remain in custody, a decision underscored by the gravity of the charges. Despite the mounting evidence, Malchus clung to his claims of innocence. He painted a portrait of terror, alleging that the true culprits were 2 enigmatic foreigners in a black car. According to his account, these shadowy figures had orchestrated the murder, sparing his life only to coerce him into silence with threats against his family. In the labyrinth of truth and deception, the tale of the Smith family echoes as a somber reminder. It is a narrative woven with threads of tragedy, human frailty, and the eternal quest for justice. As the winds of the Georgian mountains continue to whisper their secrets, one is left to ponder the delicate balance between the light of truth and the shadows of mystery. In the quiet, sun-drenched village of Manoli, the serenity was shattered by an act of unspeakable violence. The Smith family, cherished members of the community, had been brutally taken from this world in a manner that left their neighbors and loved ones in disbelief. The tragedy of Ryan, Laura, and their young son Caleb's deaths weighed heavily on the hearts of those they left behind. Their home became a shrine of mourning, where grief-stricken relatives and friends gathered, bringing offerings of flowers, toys, and candles, a poignant testament to lives extinguished too soon. In the center of this storm was a young shepherd named Malchus, a figure of controversy and contention. Malchus's defense was fervently argued by his lawyer, who denied any allegations of sexual violence against Laura. The lawyer claimed that his client, still a virgin, could not possibly have committed such heinous acts. Yet, as evidence began to mount, the narrative of innocence started to unravel. On the 12th day of July, the community's sorrow was palpable, as was the defense's insistence on Malchus's innocence. His attorney posited that 2 unidentified foreigners were the true perpetrators, and that Malchus's initial confession had been coerced under immense psychological duress. However, as the investigation unfolded, the evidence against Malchus accumulated inexorably. The autopsy reports were damning. Ryan had succumbed to 2 gunshot wounds, one to the head and another to the back. Caleb's life had been extinguished with ruthless efficiency, a single shot delivered at point-blank range. Laura's fate was equally tragic. She had been sexually assaulted, and the DNA evidence left no room for doubt. Biological material recovered from her body and clothing matched Malkus's genetic profile. Further forensic scrutiny revealed a chilling connection between Malkus and the murder weapon, which bore both his DNA and that of Ryan. The FBI's examination of digital evidence uncovered a trove of disturbing imagery on Malkus's phone. Photos of Laura's lifeless form by the waterfall, which he had shown to locals claiming he had stumbled upon the scene by chance. The digital trail painted a grim picture. Malkus's search history included visits to several adult websites in the days leading up to the crime, suggesting a premeditated fixation on Laura. The investigators concluded that Malkus's actions were driven by a dark, sexual obsession, and that his guidance of the Smith family to the waterfall was a calculated step in his sinister plan. He called conflicts. His departure marked a turning point in the legal proceedings. A new lawyer took the helm, continuing to assert Malkus's innocence and filing motions to retract the previous confession. This claim was bolstered by Malkus's mother, Mariana, who steadfastly maintained that her son had been coerced by the authorities, who were desperate for a resolution to this high-profile case. Despite these efforts, the weight of evidence was overwhelming. On the 9th of November 2018, Malkus was formally charged with the murders of the Smith family, as well as additional charges pertaining to the assault on Laura. The community of Manoli, once tranquil, found itself grappling with the reality of a young man's descent into darkness. This case serves as a haunting reminder of the complexities of human nature and the shadows that can dwell within the human soul, hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. In the quiet, pastoral landscapes of Georgia, a tale of darkness unfolded, shattering the tranquility of a community nestled within the embrace of tradition and history. The young shepherd Malkus stood accused of a crime that would send ripples of horror across the serene hills. A psychological evaluation confirmed his mental soundness, leaving no doubt about his competence to face the charges that loomed over him. His pretrial detention was slated to conclude on April 9, 2019. Yet the prosecution, unyielding in their pursuit of justice, asserted their possession of irrefutable evidence that painted Malkus as the orchestrator of a heinous act. The jury, composed of 12 individuals tasked with the solemn duty of discerning truth from deceit, delivered their verdict on March 25, 2019. They found Malkus guilty of premeditated murder, executed with a cruelty that defied comprehension, against multiple victims. His actions, a sinister attempt to conceal another crime, a grievous act of sexual assault, were laid bare before the court. 2 days later, the gory district court handed down a sentence of life imprisonment, a judgment that ignited a firestorm of protest among Malkus's relatives, who decried the punishment as unjust. For the friends and family of Ryan and Laura Smith, however, the verdict offered a semblance of solace. The defense, undeterred by the outcome, announced their intention to appeal, alleging procedural missteps that they claimed tainted the trial. Meanwhile, the U.S. consul in Georgia underscored the significance of the verdict as a long-awaited deliverance of justice for the Smith family, asserting that the evidence against Malkus was incontrovertible. Ryan and Laura Smith had ventured to Georgia, leaving behind the comforts of the Western world, fueled by an earnest desire to unearth cultural gems. Their arrival in Manoli was met with warmth as they endeavored to uplift the community through the revitalization of an ancient craft. Ryan's community initiative not only rekindled the flame of tradition, but also empowered women with newfound means of livelihood and stability. Yet the couple's promising journey was abruptly derailed by a malevolent force, a shepherd who cloaked his malevolence in the guise of gentleness. The tragic demise of the Smiths cast a pall over the community as dreams of prosperity gave way to despair. Still, in the aftermath of tragedy, hope emerged from unexpected quarters. Foreign investors, inspired by Ryan's vision, stepped forward to nurture the seeds he had planted, ensuring that the local artisans could continue their work and find new avenues for success. Thus, the legacy of Ryan and Laura Smith endures, a testament to their indomitable spirit and the resilience of a community that, despite its wounds, strives to forge a future illuminated by the light of their memory. In the end, the shadows of tragedy serve to remind us of the fragile nature of life and the enduring power of human kindness and determination.